Hi, my name is Selena.
And I'm Ariana, and did you know that Atlanta is one of America's five fastest heating cities? Yes, in fact, dark colored roofs can get up to 177 degrees Fahrenheit as temperatures rise to about 97 degrees in the summer. This effect, the urban heat island effect, places a strain on the energy grid and increases the amount of asthma related ER visits, especially in vulnerable communities. And Atlanta has recognized this problem. That's why last June we passed the Cool Roof Ordinance, which mandated that new homeowners replace their roofs with cool colored white reflective coatings. But this is just the start. For Atlanta to have long lasting, sustainable infrastructure for its residents, we must do more.
Right. And most of the time, when we talk about doing something with our roofs, we talk about solar panels. Valid also, because homeowners can save up to 60,000 US dollars in a 25-year span just by installing solar panels. But there's more to roofs. We can have rooftop beekeeping, we can have green roofs, we can have aquaponics. And all of these have even more benefits like community uplifting, reducing urban heat, and food deserts. So now builders and developers and of homeowners are left alone by this new law. That's why we built a tool for builders. This is GreenTop. What I can see in the very beginning is the map of Atlanta. And then I can select a building. Let's select my favorite cafe, butter and cream. This one I want. Then I can see it detected it correctly and I can continue. The first thing it does is it creates a 3D modeling of the building.
From real time aerial imagery.
Right. It also gives us the data from the roof area, how much sun it gets per day, and what the heat island is. And these are the costs that my favorite cafe is currently having, and they are not aware of this. So I say analyze my roof. The building owners then can input their budget. Let's say they have a lot of money for now, and let's say they really want to impact the environment. And they also focus on community. And let's run the analysis.
Now, this analysis goes through the Google Solar API to calculate the amount of sunshine, the amount of usable roof area, and various other data points to inform the optimal plan that building owners can use when developing their roof. In this case, it's solar panels and rooftop beekeeping from the data that we gathered. It uses this data and an analysis by AI and Gemini to calculate financials for this development plan, as well as the payback and environmental impact.
You can see how much of the roof is unusable, and it's honest. It says almost half of the roof is unusable for our environmental goal. But almost also the other half is usable for solar panels, and a little bit of it can be used for rooftop beekeeping. It says how much upfront costs we have to give in order for us to have an annual saving of almost $11,000. It's gonna be a 11-year payback rate. Here is how much energy we would save. Not we, the cafe. It's gonna be 53%.
We also can see the environmental impact with about 63.7 tons of carbon dioxide avoided per year. And then we can pick our different solutions, solar panels and rooftop beekeeping, and see the analysis for each solution in terms of our overall strategy. Then we can select Build My Plan and see a more in depth dashboard with a financial tab for a better understanding of all of the costs involved and the 25-year cumulative value, as well as a developer step by step checklist with a progress tab for homeowners and land use developers to check off as they go through, and then an environmental tab to understand the environmental impact and how their solution enables the city of Atlanta to benefit. Now, closing out of this plan, we can see the homeowners development dashboard.
I can select a name for this. Let's say my first plan. We truly believe that businesses will profit from this for their business, but also for the environment.
And we believe that the larger Atlanta community can truly benefit from a solution that considers not only land use developers, but the overall impact on infrastructure and the environment in the metro area.
Thank you so much for listening. This was GreenTop. See you at the demo.